Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I will tell a story of Horror McDonald. Wear headphone for better experience. The 24-hour drive-thru. The McDonald's was the last thing still pretending to be awake on the edge of town. Beyond it, the highway thinned into nothing. Streetlights stopped working one by one. The woods crept closer to the road every year, reclaiming what the town no longer bothered to protect. The restaurant squatted there like a tired animal. Flat roof, cracked asphalt, drive-through menu glowing too bright against the dark. The sign flickered. It always flickered. No one could remember a time when it didn't. You worked nights because nights paid an extra $1 an hour, and because you didn't have better options. The shift ran from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. And after midnight the building felt hollow, like a shell someone forgot to throw away. The ice cream machine was broken, permanently, and everyone joked about it, though no one laughed very hard. By 2:30 a.m., the dining room was empty. Chairs were stacked. The floor was freshly mopped, though it would never look clean. The hum of the refrigerators and the buzz of the lights blended into a single sound that pressed against your skull. You were alone. Again. The manager had called out sick. The replacement never showed. Corporate didn't care, as long as the drive-thru stayed open. It always stayed open. At 2:57 a.m., you wiped the counter for the third time and checked the clock above the fryers. The second hand ticked louder than it should have. At exactly 3 a.m., the drive-thru headset chimed. Deep. You flinched. "Welcome to McDonald's," you said, slipping into muscle memory. "What can I get for you tonight?" Silence. You waited. Sometimes people messed around. Sometimes they forgot to speak. "Hello?" You tried again. The only response was the low idle of an engine. Then the order screen flickered. The background color was wrong, yellowed, like aged plastic. The font was thicker, rounded in a way you'd only seen in old commercials. Items populated the screen slowly, one line at a time. McDLT, Arch Deluxe, fried apple pie, chicken fajitas, McJordan Special. Your stomach tightened. Those items hadn't existed in decades. You knew that from trivia, from old ads reposted online. The system shouldn't know them. Corporate purged old menu codes every update. "This has to be a glitch," you muttered. "I'm sorry," you said into the headset, forcing your voice steady. "Those items aren't available anymore." The screen blinked, went blank. Then new text appeared, centered and bold. "We know." A chill crawled up your arms. "Please pull forward to the first window," you said, because it was something you were trained to say, something normal. The car rolled forward. It was old. Not just old, wrong. Boxy, angular, the kind of car you only saw in museums or rusting in fields. The red paint had faded to a sickly pink, and the McDonald's logo on the hood wasn't quite right. The arches were thicker. The smile curved too high. The headlights were off. You slid the drive-thru window open a few inches. The driver wore a mask. Plastic, yellowed, cracked at the edges. A McDonaldland character, but not one you could name. Not Ronald, not Grimace. Something earlier. The smile was wide and frozen, cheerful in a way that felt hostile. The eye holes were black. "Your total is..." You stopped. You hadn't even checked it. "How would you like to pay?" The driver didn't speak. A gloved hand extended through the window, holding a folded piece of paper. You hesitated, then took it. The paper was warm, slightly greasy. It read, "We are still here. Let us in." Your mouth went dry. "I can't take this," you whispered. "I need cash or card." The mask tilted, slowly, like it was considering you. From inside it came a voice, muffled, layered, distorted, as if several people were speaking through the same mouth. "We already paid." The register chimed. You looked down. The order was marked paid. Payment method, promotion 1986. Your hands shook. Behind you, the fryers clicked on. Oil bubbled, though you hadn't touched them. The grills hissed to life. "I'm getting my manager," you said, backing away from the window. The mask leaned closer. "There is no manager tonight." You remembered Ben, the sick call, the unanswered phone. You were alone until morning. The kitchen screens flickered. Old layouts appeared. Grainy photos, outdated terminology, instructions you didn't recognize loaded line by line. The smell of hot oil and sugar filled the air, heavy and cloying, like a memory you didn't want. On the security monitor, movement flickered in the dining room. You turned. Every booth was occupied. Families sat shoulder to shoulder, dressed in outdated clothes. Windbreakers, acid-washed jeans, big glasses. Kids wore paper crowns and stared at you with unblinking eyes. Employees in old uniforms stood along the walls, hands folded neatly in front of them. All smiling, all watching, waiting. The headset chimed again. Beep, another car had pulled up behind the first, then another. On the monitor, the drive-through lines stretched far back into the dark. Cars from different decades, paint faded, headlights dim and yellowed. Every driver wore a mask. The kitchen printer whirred. A bag appeared on the counter, grease soaking through the bottom. "Order ready," the screen said. You didn't remember cooking anything. Your body moved anyway. You picked up the bag, walked to the window, handed it out. The driver's fingers brushed yours. Cold, slick with grease. As the car pulled away, the note slid back through the window. New words had soaked through the paper. You opened the doors once. You never closed them. Your breath hitched. Behind you, chairs scraped against tile. Footsteps shuffled closer, slow, deliberate. The dining room doors unlocked with a soft click. You turned as figures began to stand. Employees, families, children. Their smiles stretched wider, unnatural, frozen in place. The mask leaned back toward the window one last time. "Shift change soon," it said gently. "You can stay, like the others." The lights flared bright yellow, painfully bright. The jingle began to play, slowed, warped, stretched into something unrecognizable. You looked at the clock above the fryers. The second hand jerked. The numbers flickered. Reset. 3 a.m. The headset chimed. Beep. Your mouth opened. "Welcome to McDonald's," you heard yourself say, voice calm, practiced. "What can I get for you tonight?" Behind you, the dining room laughed, soft, contented, endless. The doors stayed open.